Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I watched WWE Monday Night Raw episode 1349. Almost halfway to 1400. Wow. That means the Raw after Mania will be 1350. That's a pretty big milestone. That's halfway to 2700. Holy crap. We've come so far. It's a quarter of the way to. Never mind. Anyway, did I say 3,000? I meant 2,700. Did I say 2,700? I don't know. Anyway, this episode is pretty good. Overall, I enjoyed it. Some parts were you're like, all right, I guess so. I guess WrestleMania is in 6 days. Other parts were like, holy crap, WrestleMania is in 6 days. I can't wait. We open up with a very. It's like when you have a joke that you want to. I mean, it's exactly what it is, because Stephanie McMahon had a April Fool's prank to open up the show, but she's just rushed it. She kind of rushed it, and the impact of it, and didn't take it seriously enough to make it work as a joke. She announces herself as the fourth person to be in it's going to be a fatal 4-way in the main event, WrestleMania. And she says, "Oh, April Fool's, I gotcha." No. Anyway, she announces that all the titles are on the line, and then she gets the heck. She doesn't go all the way out to the ring. I kind of appreciated that she kept it pretty short, other than adding the joke. But it wasn't like an entire 10-minute thing, her talking about history and all of that. So I thought that was good. That was pretty good. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman come out, and then Seth Rollins comes out and beats up Brock. He blows him a couple of times. And then backstage, he's interviewed, and is it Dasha? No, who is it that? Crap. I get them. Why do I get them mixed up? I think it's Dasha. No, it's not Dasha. It's it's Charlie. Is it Charlie? Which one of them is it has the hard hitting questions? Anyway, my point is, she says, if you do that on Sunday, you'll be disqualified. It's like, that's all. I think it wasn't a match. It's fine. So that was pretty funny. Then we had the 4-on-4 match. Sasha Banks, Bayley, Natalya, and Beth Phoenix versus the Iconics and Tamina and Nia. Beth Phoenix won the match after hitting a glam slam on Peyton Royce, but before that, she killed Nia, sending her through the barricades. So that was kind of cool. Beth Phoenix is she's like has she even stopped wrestling in this whole time she's been gone? I think she's been secretly just, kept at it. In like some underground, not Lucha Underground, because then we'd see her on that, but some other type of underground wrestling league that nobody knows about. They don't have a TV deal or anything. I think this match should be pretty good. I mean, fatal 4-way. That's I don't know. Seeing the tag team championships match, like, it'll be more times that it's fought in a multi-person, like a multi-team match, than it has been. I mean, every tag team match is a multi-person match. A multi-team match, than it has in a traditional format as far as pay-per-views go. I don't think they haven't defended it outside of pay-per-views yet. And then they lost against the Iconics last week. We'll see what happens. I'm excited to see what happens on SmackDown tonight. We get some focus on some other people. See what's going on with the tag team championships, I hope. The Raw tag team championships, they were defended tonight. We'll get to that in a second. But then the possible match on Sunday was on like a WWE.com exclusive interview type of thing. So I feel bad for the Raw Tag Team Champions and the Raw Tag Team division, but Batista, we get a nice video package about Batista and Triple H, and he just says, "Hunter, Hunter, kiss my ass." He says, and that's it. That was pretty great. Nice, to the point. Don't need to drag it out to anything, and I appreciate that again. Then we had Apollo versus Jinder Mahal. Apollo won, and then I actually wasn't really paying attention during this match. I was like, wait, everybody's already out there? I guess they were already out there for whatever reason. But then we get a big preview of the Battle Royal. Everybody from Raw who's in that just starts going at it. Which is like most of the people in the Battle Royal. I think the only others that aren't are the Hardys, the Bar, and Andrade, and I think that's really it from SmackDown. Oh, and the Club, Gallows and Anderson. So yeah. And then also not in this were Michael Shea and Colin Jost and Braun Strowman, but we got a little taste of that later on. Kurt Angle retrospective to celebrate his final appearance on Raw. And Corbin comes out, Rey Mysterio comes out, and they both beat up Baron Corbin. We get a match set up for later in the night between. It was originally announced that it was going to be Rey Mysterio versus Kurt Angle, but they changed that. So Baron Corbin versus Rey Mysterio is the main event. We'll talk about that later on. Then we had the Raw Championship, Raw Tag Team Championship defended against Al and Rick. Revival versus Aleister Black and Ricochet. This is a really good match. I don't really mind that they keep fighting each other again and again, because it's very good every time. We get stuff like the double Hurricane Rana, the leaps over the emails. At least it's not making a sound. I turned the sound on because I'm expecting a phone call, but I could have done other stuff. Anyway, I thought that as soon as I started this recording, I was going to get the phone call, but that didn't happen. Hasn't happened yet. I haven't finished recording this episode yet. Anyway, I enjoyed this match, and I thought that Revival were just going to get themselves disqualified by using a chair or a table or something. But they had pulled up the apron there, and it provided them the ability to grab onto Ricochet. I think it was Ricochet's leg as he was trying to get back into the ring to beat the count out, the count of 10. And Revival ended up winning as Ricochet got pulled back down from the apron right at 9. And so they successfully defended their championship via countout. And if they're gonna do it it was effective, but they could also just as easily walk away from the match and get themselves counted out. That sort of thing would be equally effective in not winning the match, but in not losing their championships. So we'll see what's going on. But Al and Rick, they're going up against the War Raiders on Friday night. So they've got to have them in their sights first. And hopefully they don't have a match on SmackDown unless it's to set up them having a match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, because they haven't had a shot at that yet. That would be awesome that they are in 3 different championship matches in 1 week. That would be pretty cool. As it is, I think this is the first time that somebody is challenged for 2 different championships in 1 week, 2 different tag team championships in 1 week. So that would be really cool if they did get an opportunity to fight the Usos. Because the Usos are freaking amazing. Revival are too, but that's another match I want to see is Revival versus the Usos. And Revival versus everybody on SmackDown, really. But yeah, we'll see what happens tonight on SmackDown. SmackDown Live. Up next, we had the 6-woman tag team match. Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda would fight the Riot Squad with the stipulation that the first person to turn on their teammates would be kicked out of the match on Sunday. And the way they phrased that, the first woman to do it was like, "Oh, it's going to happen, so don't be the first one." So it was kind of weird. I think it would have how it ended up working out was really good, but like the announcement of that was like, oh, I guess they are going to turn on each other. It's inevitable. But if they said if they can't get along in the match, then the person who starts it is eliminated. So I didn't even consider this, but I really enjoyed that Becky was trying to get them to attack her, mainly Charlotte, like mocking Charlotte and trying to get Charlotte to hit her or something so that Charlotte would be kicked out of the match. So I thought that was pretty funny. But as it turned out, well, Becky was in the ring for most of the time, and then Charlotte tagged herself in, and then they're like all face to face with each other. And then Ronda tagged herself in while they were busy doing that. And then Ronda quickly destroyed Liv Morgan, won the match, and then they went right at it, beating the crap out of each other. While Charlotte wasn't really paying attention, and Ronda just wallops her. And then the fight, and there's police people come out to try to... Did I say police people? Nobody's ever said police people. Police officers come out, security and police, and they end up putting them all in handcuffs, like one at a time, because they got Ronda in handcuffs, and then Becky's like started fighting them and stuff more. They're like, oh, you put her in the handcuffs, and then Charlotte outside, then she starts beating up on them. Oh, that was so great in the ring, but then they go backstage, and these cops, you can tell. I don't know if I'd say this might be why there's so much crime in Washington D.C. because these cops are not very good. They put the perpetrators in the same squad car. They start kicking each other in this. Oh, that was amazing. Ronda and Becky kicking each other in the backseat of that car. They pull them apart, but Ronda, she like sneaks her way into the front of the car. It was like a plain, not a plain clothes car. What is it called? It's not. It wasn't marked. It was an unmarked police car. It's actually just like a regular car because it didn't have like the barrier between the front and the back or whatever. So she got into the front and then she like shifted into gear or something and wrecked it into the other car because she couldn't steer. She had the. I've rewatched this segment like 4 or 5 times, and it makes me laugh so much every single time. They pull her out of the back and then put her into the back. They pull her out of the driver's seat and put her back in the front after she's already crashed into the other one. So we have resisting arrest, assaulting officers. Now we have Grand Theft Auto, stealing a police car. That's even worse, I think. There's less leniency, I think. I think it's still the same crime, but as just regular Grand Theft Auto, but there's like other layers added onto it, with it being a police officer's vehicle. I think I don't know the laws or anything, but I'd imagine it's something like that. Anyway, so we have all those charges potentially. Then Ronda, while they were kicking each other, Ronda like kicks the window out. It just shatters all over the place. That was pretty cool. They bring Becky over to the other car, and then they forget that Charlotte's already in there, and Charlotte just pops out and then starts kicking each other. It's just so much. It's so much fun. Them having their hands tied behind their back, their hands cuffed, but they're just kicking each other the whole time, and they're all pretty good at kicking. And then Ronda's like screaming out the window. She's leaning out the window, and Charlotte waddles over. The way she was walking, that sounds mean. But those couple of steps she takes before the big kick, it's like that's the how. It's weird walking with your hands tied behind your back. But anyway, she just knees the hell out of Ronda's face, and that was amazing too. And this whole all three arrested go away, but then they were released. Apparently, that's what they announced online later and whatnot. But it was that was one of the best things on Raw in a long, long time. I loved every second of that. It was amazing, and I'm really excited. I've been excited for this main event. But I'm like even more excited, and I thought maybe they'll add the weird stipulation that they're handcuffed for that. That would be too weird. But the winner takes all thing. I don't know. I don't know if that. It'd be awesome for Becky to win. The one person not going in with the championship walks out with both of them. That would be pretty cool. But was this me and going for it? Whoever does win it, I guess Money in the Bank is the next pay-per-view. So somebody winning that gives them a chance, because you can only use it to challenge for one championship. So I think that's how it would get split back apart from the double champion. That's the best way to do it, probably, I think. Unless you have a match that they're just defending one of them. Like put one of the championships on the line, because there's no rules that say you have to defend every championship that you hold at the same time. But it is kind of cool. We haven't had a double champion in a while. I think even when we had the only double champion we've had in the last year, I think, is Seth Rollins, when he was the Intercontinental Champion and they won with Dean Ambrose. But that like right after winning, Dean like attacked him and stuff. So I think that's the only other instance that we've had of a double champion so far. And then, of course, in that case, you can't defend a singles championship in a tag team match. So it would have to be for only one or the other. And that was when he lost to AOP, was it? I can't remember exactly. Anyway, moving on, we had the glorious Bobby Roode and Chad Gable versus Heavy Machinery. Heavy Machinery won via compactor. I think they just call it compactor, not trash compactor. Then we had Braun kill a couple of guys who he's calling Che and Jost. They're just a couple of local guys, and he double power bombs them. He has one of them on each shoulder. So that was pretty cool. I'm not sure if we've seen that before, at least not from Braun. So that was kind of fun. Then we had Bobby Lashley in the ring addressing that's not the phone number I'm expecting a number from. Speaking of Bobby Roode, that could have come like a minute earlier and it would have been really good timing. Bobby Lashley addresses Finn Balor. Finn Balor comes on the screen on a big jumbotron and becomes the demon, and it sticks his tongue out a bunch. And then it got a little bit awkward, just coming back and forth between the two of them, and they're just looking. But I'm excited. Demon Balor is going to destroy Bobby Lashley. That should be real fun. And then our main event, Baron Corbin versus Rey Mysterio. Baron Corbin wins via Deep Six. Not even the End of Days. Not even winning by using End of Days. Ah, man, Mysterio. How far you've fallen. Or at least like 4 feet up. I think that's how high you get lifted at the Deep Six. But as Corbin's sub-ring go up the ramp, he gets attacked by Kurt Angle. He gets put into an ankle lock, and he's tapping out, but it's not a match, so he's not going to stop. And that's how we end the night. The big build up to the final match of Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin is what closes the show on the last Raw before WrestleMania. But that's fine. We got the police car stuff earlier on, which is amazing. Makes up for anything else that's not like the most exciting and best stuff ever. Plus, it's kind of cool to have Kurt Angle closing the show on his very last appearance on Raw. I dig that. It would have been nice if it wasn't after Baron Corbin had beaten Rey Mysterio, but hey, what you gonna do? Just look forward to WrestleMania. That's what you're gonna do. I still have a couple of tickets that I haven't sold yet. Hopefully somebody picks those up. I've been lowering the prices in increments of like $10 and whatever. I just want some of the money back or whatever. So go check out Vivid Seats. Look for the cheapest VIP Ciampa Baszler tickets. I know it's not going to be Ciampa, but that's what the ticket says on it, so I have to list it that way. Yeah, go check that out. I'll probably lower the prices again. If you're looking for something to do on this Saturday night, and you're in New York. And then the other ticket I have it's a paper ticket. I might just like give it to somebody that I come across earlier in the weekend. Be like, hey, do you want to go to the Hall of Fame? Here's a ticket. Sure, I'll take like $10 for it, whatever. Because it's part of a big bundle of tickets. And I'd rather go to Access on Saturday night. Anyway, I'm really excited. I know I said not very excited because I'm so sleepy right now for some reason. But this weekend is going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to what happens on SmackDown tonight. 205 Live. Also, Ms. and Mrs. starts tonight. It's back. Although I haven't watched all of season 1, to be honest. So I probably won't watch it because I only have now like 40 hours until I head to the airport. Less than that. I think 36 hours now. I think that's it. I'll record some episodes while I'm out there also, as I've talked about. But I think that's it for now. I'll talk predictions in the SmackDown episode. I'll just go through all of the actual matches. I know I kind of covered that here, but it'll be the last actual show before it all goes down. Stay tuned for that. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll do a whole separate episode, a predictions episode. That way it'll appear better in the feed. This be WrestleMania predictions, Week 14, Part 7, Part 8, etc. All right, that's it. Thanks for listening. Tweet me at TIW Podcast, TIWpodcast.com. Go iTunes, Spotify, whatever, and all that stuff. Thanks for listening. I'll be back next time for more TIW Podcast. Bye.